Hello everyone and welcome back to Rise Racing League. We're with our Division 3 drivers here in Bahrain. Got some activity out on track already. Is the Haas of Smooth. First driver out on their out lap. We do have a couple of other drivers following just closely behind. So it is round 1 of season 2. We do welcome back a couple of tenured drivers here at Rise Racing League, and we have a few fresh faces to join the pack as well. Quite a mixed grid here in Division 3. We have some extremely quick drivers, extremely experienced drivers. We've got some guys who are also new to Formula 1 as well, so it'll be really interesting to see how this group all gels together and who comes out on top. There we have it. Smooth is crossing the line now to start the first flying lap of the session here in Q1. He's passed turns 1 and 2, and he's got a clear stretch of straight track ahead of him. He's got DRS assistance as well. And it looks like he will have no interference with this lap. Nice clear stretch of track out in Sector 2 for him. There is just one car at the end of Sector 2. Moving into Sector 3. And Smooth does cross over that corner now. He's got DRS assistance down the back straight, and he's making his way from Sector 2 up the hill towards Sector 3. And crosses the line of 128.2. The benchmark for Q1 has been set, and we do have some activity here. Rise to survive. Mercedes driver next to cross the line, and it's a 128.2 as well. Very close there between the two drivers, but Tacey crosses the line with the 127.2. That's a full second faster than the Haas of Smooth. AMG Smithy with a 139.5, a little bit off the pace there. DXT Viper also with the 131.2. Worm Smith with a 152.6. He's got a little bit of work to do to try and make that time a bit more competitive. But it is Tacey in the Aston Martin who set the fastest lap time. A very nice job indeed. iSettings, Mexican driver, now racing for McLaren. He's going down the pit straight with DRS assistance, and it's a 128.1. Good enough for P2 as it stands. Not bad indeed. Josh Randall next across the line. He's starting his flying lap attempt for Alpine. Got a slow Ferrari driver just moving out of the way to allow Josh Randall past there. Josh with a 133.9 at the moment. Although his ERS has been completely drained there, down to 19%, and has been fully used. So I'm not sure that he is going to be setting competitive times here. here. Josh Randall's left the session there, and AMG Smithy has also retired. We've got a couple of drivers here who still are yet to set lap times. Big Will in the Williams is making his way around sector 2, and just taking this tight left-hander. Keeps it on track. You see a lot of drivers actually coming off the track there. It's very common, but he does a good job keeping it on track and heading down the back straight with some DRS assistance. That DRS flap just closes as the ERS Hamilton sets a 1:27.2. That's a very good time as well, and actually very close there between ERS Hamilton and Tacey. Very, very good times from both of those drivers. Let's see what Big Will can do. He's making it down the back end of the circuit, and he's got the final corner left to navigate here. He also has his teammate Wormsmith just right behind, and it looks like he's going to get a nice little tow down the pit straight here as Big Will sets a 1:31.3, and he allows his teammate past with a little bit of a tow there. Wormsmith with a 1:52.6, like I said, the slowest time of the session so far. He did get a handsome tow down the pit straight, so let's see what he can do. Actually, he's backed out of that lap altogether, which is disappointing after that little bit of teamwork there between the Williams drivers, as Morris sets a 1:27 dead. That is 2/10 clear on ERS Hamilton and Tacey. That's a fantastic lap there from the Ferrari driver. Got some very quick guys here. Let's see Toddy Bear in the McLaren. Toddy Bear now taking this left-hander up the hill. You can see there is a couple of cars ahead of him there. He does have a slow Williams. Big Will there, just going a little bit slow. He keeps himself clear of the McLaren, who is on a fast lap. And let's see what Toddy Bear can pull out of the bag here as he crosses the line. It's a 1:28.3, 1/10 between him and Smooth in the Haas, and he is just below his teammate Isettens, who is in P5 currently. Just having a look now at drivers at risk. So Lupars and Alpars here. Both drivers have not set lap times yet. We've got Alpars who just overtakes his teammate Lupars, and both Alphas are now looking to start their flying laps coming up shortly. Both drivers have invalidated. They are very close, so I expect that they're going to slipstream one another down the straights here, so it'll be interesting to see who gets priority there. Will Lupars be getting the slipstream of Alpars? That is how it would seem, but let's see what happens here. See Alpars giving his teammate a nice slipstream. Lupars again benefiting from a bit of slipstream there down this straight. So Lupars has had his lap time invalidated there, but Elpars is still going strong, so let's see what time Elpars can pull out of the bag as he's making his way towards the final corner on the circuit. Switched a little bit early there. Moves right over to the right hand side, and it's P11 and 129.7 for Elpars. His teammate Lupars now has to go again to get a lap time on the board. So Lupars the only driver to not have a time on the board as it stands, but there is 4.5 minutes left on the clock. He's got time to do it, and he wants to do it fast to avoid putting himself under any unnecessary pressure. Wormsmith also with the slow time on the board of 152.6 has a lot of potential for a better time, but just hasn't been able to get it all working as of yet. But you can see saved 22.4 seconds in sector 1. That's a fantastic saving and exactly what he needs in the Williams. So let's see what time he can find in sectors 2 and 3. Going back to Lupars in the Alfa Romeo, he's just ahead of the Williams driver there, and he's making his way up the hill in sector 2 towards sector 3. This little area track can catch drivers out as well in some occasions. Lupars doing well, no invalidations. Final corner coming up. He's heading back onto the pit straight. And it is a 128.4. Let's go back on with Wormsmith. This looks like it could be a decent lap from the Williams driver. And it is a 128.4. That's good enough for P9. So with less than 3 minutes left on the clock there, we have a few drivers at risk as it stands. So Big Will and DXT Viper are the main ones. Big Will still in the pits at the moment. We'll need to consider potentially coming out of the pits to improve on that lap time in the near future. DXT Viper with a 129.8 currently is out on track. It does look like he's going quite slow there, so he's not on a flying lap at the moment, but hopefully will be gearing himself up for a flying lap next time round, because there is almost 2 minutes left on the clock. Oh, and there's there's an Alfa Romeo. Lupars has spun going around that corner. He's broke part of his front wing and left it on the side of the track there. Thankfully he is in P10 and should be through okay. His teammate Elpars, however, is potentially at risk because if DXT Viper does improve on his lap time, and even Big Will as well, that will knock Elpars out into the bottom 15, and he will not progress through to Q2. So he is heading into the pits at the minute, so because he is going into the pits, it seems like he won't have time to go out and start another flying lap again. So he will have to settle for that time, 129.7 most likely, and he will hope that the likes of DXT Viper and Big Will do not make improvements on their time. DXT Viper, with just 1 minute left on the clock, is coming into the pits as well. He will not be making improvements to his time. It is all down to Big Will. Big Will has to get a good lap here to get himself out of the bottom 15 and up into the top 15, where he can progress through to Q2. So there's 50 seconds left on the clock. It's do or die for the Williams driver. He's making his way down the pit straight with DRS assistance into turn 1. Let's see what he can do on this lap. Big Will into sector 2. The good thing is the Williams driver doesn't have any traffic behind him. He also doesn't really have any traffic ahead of him as well, so he can just focus on trying to extract as much as he can from the Williams on this lap. He's got DRS assistance here. And that is the end of qualifying time there. So drivers are, the majority of them are in the pits. We do have a couple of drivers who are out on laps at the moment. It does look like Dawson is out on track. He is safe. Even if Big Will does improve on his time, he should be comfortably scraping it through to Q2. Big Will with just one more corner to negotiate with. DRS assistance. Crosses the line. Doesn't get any improvements at the moment, but it does look like he's had an opportunity to go on another flying lap there. Even though my timer has ran out, it seems to be allowing him to go for another lap. So let's see what he can do. Okay, so he has found 0.5 seconds, half a second there in Sector 1. He's making his way now into Sector 2. A little bit of lock up there on the front right wheel. Now heading up the hill. He is the only really remaining driver on a flying lap. We do have AMG Vader as well, who is on a flying lap, not making any improvements to his time, however, and will remain in P11. And Big Will does get his time invalidated. We just missed it there as we were looking at Vader. Unfortunately, Big Will will be leaving us here in as he heads into the pits. That's it for Q1. We'll be back shortly with Q2 coverage. We are back now with Q2 coverage here in the desert. What's been interesting actually in the past couple of races here in our other divisions is we had a couple of drivers who have thought about that medium tire strategy. Some of them were able to make it work, others tried it, couldn't make it work, and had to then switch over to the soft tires. So it'll be interesting to see. We do have a couple of drivers you can see there that have equipped the medium tires, and it'll be interesting to see Can they make that medium tire strategy work? The fastest lap time, or the tire that you set the fastest lap time on in this session, is the tire that you start on the race. Josh Randall on the soft tire, however, first driver out on track for Alpine. Has Wormsmith for company just behind in the Williams. We also have Toddy Bear in the McLaren following. Oh, Toddy Bear! Whoa! Just took out a bollard there, took out one of the braking zone bollards. Not sure what happened. It was lucky not to be a DNF potentially. We got a good few drivers out on track, probably about half the grid, just a bit more than half. We've got a couple of other drivers who are still in the pits as it stands. Josh Randall now coming down to that final straight before the lap starts, and he's making his way towards that final corner. In the final corner he goes, getting geared up for the first flying lap of the session. Let's see how he does. He's got DRS assistance down the pit straight, and it's a long straight down to turn 1. He is hitting over 200 miles an hour, and a very quick braking, hard braking zone there. Quickly get back on the speed again. DRS down another straight. And you'll see Josh starting to set purple sector times there, and that is to be expected. He is the first driver out on track. He's the first driver setting a flying lap here, so you will expect to see him setting purple sector times as he makes his way around the track. The question is there someone behind him who can come out and make faster sector times than what he's doing? Got DRS assistance again. He's now making his way up the hill. Again, another purple sector time there in sector 2, making his way down that final straight as he heads towards the end of the lap. Final corner. What time is it for Josh in the Alpine? It is a 128.3. Now going on board with the Williams of Wormsmith. Again on the soft tyres, at 128, 3 times faster than Josh Randall and Toddy Bear with a 128.1 on the soft tyres. Tacey on the medium tyres, 128. He has matched Wormsmith's time, but Wormsmith did it on the soft tyres and Tacey did it on the medium tyres. So that's very impressive indeed. Again, another driver on the medium tyres is DXT Viper, who has set a 131.4 on the medium tyres. That's good enough for P6 at the minute, as Kraken crosses the line with the fastest lap time of 127.8 on the soft tyres. That's a very good effort from the Alpine driver. Didn't really see much of him in Q1, but it's good to see him up there, at least for the meantime, in Q2. Rise to survive on the medium tyres. He is making his way around the track. We do have a couple of drivers ahead of him as well, but I believe they're on out laps. He's the only driver at the moment on a flying lap. Does look to be a slow Williams, I believe, just ahead of him. Hopefully that's not going to cause too much interference, too much disturbance. He moves well out of the way to allow the flying Mercedes past on the medium tyres. Let's see, Tacey currently in P3 on those medium tyres, and DXT Viper on the medium tyres down in P6. Let's see what Rise to Survive can do. So 129 So a decent bit faster than DXT Viper, almost a second faster. Oh, there's a bit of traffic there. We've got both Alfa Romeos coming very slow out of the pits there. Not sure if Rise to Survive knew exactly what to do there, but he managed that situation very well. So P6 for Rise to Survive at the moment will progress through to Q2, but bear in mind we do have like half the grid who haven't set a lap time yet, and with some of these drivers opting for a soft tyre, it could mean that Rise to Survive and DXT Viper will need to reconsider that medium tyre strategy. Ice Settings in the McLaren is making his way down the straight here in Sector 2 on a flying lap. Left-hander up the hill. Oh, that's a purple Sector 2 time for the McLaren driver. So he's making his way now into Sector 3. And across that final corner. Now down the pit straight. Oh, it's good time. It's a 1:28. Very close between Ice Settings and Worm Schmidt. And 2/10 off Kraken's time. And it was a very good time from the Alpine driver as well. Just having a look now at AMG Vader. Down the pit straight as well on a flying lap. Crosses the line. 1:28.4. Decent time from him as well. And the Red Bull of Dawson about to cross the line now. And it's a 1:29.3, good enough for P9, just above his teammate. Smooth in the Haas. Oh, look at that time from Smooth, the Haas driver. Sticks it on the top spot. It's a 1:27.5. Very, very good indeed. That's 3/10 faster now than Kraken. And you can see how you've got the top 8 drivers on the soft tyre strategy. Rise to Survive, currently the fastest on the medium tyre. You can actually see the icon has changed over to the softs. It looks like Rise to Survive is going to come out on the soft tyres. He feels that he is a bit at risk. DXT Viper in the pits at the moment. Morris, he's going on an out lap on the medium tyres, so let's see what he can do with the medium tyres. ERS Hamilton is also in the pits with the medium tyres equipped. Just having a look at the Powers brothers. Both Alfa Romeo drivers on flying laps on the soft tyres. L Powers, first driver off the 2 to cross the line. What time is it going to be? It's P11. And Lou Powers with the 1:31.4 in P13. So going back now to Morris. He's got the medium tyres equipped. As you can see, there is no one in the top 10 with medium tyres equipped. So let's see what Morris can do here. Down the pit straight, the Ferrari driver goes. It's P7 and 1:28.1. That's going to be touch and go in terms of whether he could get through to Q3 in that place. So interestingly enough, actually Kraken has stuck the medium tyres on and has came out. He did set his fastest time on the soft tyres. I'm not convinced he'll be able to match that with the medium tyres equipped. If he can, I'll be impressed. And Tacey does have the soft tyres equipped at the minute. It's currently in the pits, but I believe they set their fastest time on the medium tyres. So while it's not reflective there, I believe Tacey in P5 has set that time on the medium tyres. Other drivers at risk at the moment. Dawson, the Red Bull driver, is currently down in P11 in the pits at the moment. There is just over 4 minutes left on the clock, so there is a bit of time for him to get out and try and make improvements to his time. Rise to Survive, currently in P10, set that time on the medium tyres, is now swapped over to the soft tyres, as you can see, and is looking to make improvements. Very much at risk in that P10 spot, because there is drivers below him who could absolutely make improvements to their times. Let's see what improvements he can make to his time. The Mercedes driver has made his way around sector 1, coming into sector 2, and you can see he's found 2/10 already through sector 1. Let's see what time he can find in sectors 2 and 3 as well. Oh, that looked like a purple sector 2 there for Rise to Survive. It looks like he's found 1.2 seconds in total, which is very good indeed. If he has done that, that could be a very good time. He's making his way now round through sector 3. Oh, what a time from Rise to Survive at 1:27.6, 1/10 off the top spot at the minute, and he allows his teammate ARS Hamilton to go past. ARS Hamilton cutting it very fine, just 2.5 minutes left on the clock. He's the only driver who hasn't set a time yet, and he is trying to set it on the medium tyre, so very, very ambitious. He's gambling on that medium tyre strategy, because realistically, if he sets a time, he won't have an opportunity to go back into the pits. He has managed to set a purple sector 1 time there, which is really impressive on the medium tyres. Let's see if we can keep that momentum up through sector 2 and 3. So his teammate in P2 at the minute on the soft tyres. ARS Hamilton coming up the hill now, and coming now into sector 3. He hasn't managed to set a purple sector 2 time there, but let's see what he can do in sector 3. Crosses the line at 1:28.1, good enough for P8 at the moment. So, like I said, he's gambling on that medium tyre strategy. He does have a couple of drivers who are just, outside of the top 10 and can make improvements. Interestingly enough, you've got the likes of AMG Vader, Dawson, DXT Viper, and Lou Powers, who are all currently in the pits. There's a minute left on the clock. There's less than a minute left on the clock, so you don't have time to come out of the pits now and get a lap time done. So those drivers will be leaving us at the end of this session. Josh Randall is just kind of battling against the clock. He's about to cross the line here with 30 seconds to go. He is at risk at the moment. He does have L Powers in P15 behind him. Both drivers are actually on a flying lap. This is going to be really interesting to watch. Josh Randall in P10, L Powers in P15, and he's getting close to Josh Randall. Both drivers on a flying lap, and Josh Randall has just flashed away there from L Powers. He's just completely disappeared, and L Powers has gone off track there and invalidated his lap. And actually, Josh Randall's now apparently on the night lap. I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, but there's some weird stuff going on with Josh Randall. He's doing some black magic. Now apparently he's not on a night lap, and apparently he's on a flying lap again. I don't know what is going on. Either way, he should have made it through to Q3 just about. He was lucky that L Powers invalidated his lap. That's it for our Q2 coverage. We're just waiting to see what happens here with Josh Randall. He takes a dive into the pits, and he's happy enough that he's made it through to Q3. That's it, we'll be back shortly with our top 10 shootout coverage. We are back now with our final qualifying coverage of the day. It's our top 10 shootout here in the desert. It's a fight for pole position, and we've got a couple of really good drivers in the mix here. We've got two Alpines. We've got Josh Randall, who just about made it in, alongside his teammate Kraken. We also have both Mercedes drivers rise to survive with a great time on the soft tyres. ERS Hamilton did just enough to make the medium tyre strategy work for him, which is very good to see. And Toddy Bear and iSettings, both McLaren drivers, in as well. Wormschmidt and Smooth, Haas and Williams respectively. Casey in the Aston Martin, who is definitely a contender for pole position, alongside ERS Hamilton, iSettings, Smooth, Morris in the Ferrari. There is some real contenders in terms of who could be on pole position here, so it'll be really interesting to see how it all pans out. Josh Randall, first driver out on track today. You can see his car does appear to be kind of glitching over the track a little bit. Maybe he's having some connectivity issues. Starting to see most drivers coming out on track there. I think there's just 3 drivers remaining in the pits. It's a Haas of Smooth, iSettings in the McLaren, and also Kraken in the Alpine. So Josh Randall's going to kick us off with the final qualifying session. It's going to be the benchmark for the other drivers to try and beat. So he's crossing that final corner. And he's starting the first flying lap of the session. as he makes his way down the pit straight. You can see the McLaren of Isettens is just coming out of the pits there, so Josh Randall's timed that pretty well to avoid having any traffic with the McLaren, although the McLaren is going to come out just at the same time as Wormsmith. Also Tacey as well may be impacted by Isettens, who's coming out now on an outlap. It does look like he's got away quite okay there without any interference, and Isettens moves right over to the right hand side there to allow the Aston Martin pass. Going back on board with Josh Randall, he is still on his flying lap, making his way around sector 2. He is heading now down this straight with DRS assistance in sector 2. Heartbreaking zone there, and up to the left, up the hill and towards sector 3. So Josh Randall crosses the line of 128.2, is the benchmark for the other drivers. Let's see what Wormsmith in the Williams can do. He's going to be the next driver to cross the line. And he beats it at 127.8. Tacey in the Aston Martin crosses the line of 126.5. That's an excellent time from Tacey. Isettens is now crossing the line to start his flying lap of the session. And let's see what it does look like. Rise to Survive has not been able to set a lap time. He has been caught out by track limits. Morris now crosses the line of 127, 3/10 slower than Tacey. Tacey is holding the provisional pole spot at the moment. The question is, can someone knock him off that spot? ARS Hamilton will be the next driver to try and do so. He's making his way towards that final corner. Making his way down the pit straight, crosses the line at 127.5. That's 5/10 slower than Morris, and so it is turning out to be quite the battle here. But Tacey does have the upper hand at the minute, but there is over 6 minutes left on the clock. There is opportunity still for drivers to improve. Just having a look at Rise to Survive, he didn't have much luck on his first flying lap attempt. He looks like he's went straight in to another flying lap attempt there, so let's see how he gets on. And Isettens actually is about to cross the line. Ooh, a 127.3, good enough for P3 at the minute. Rise to Survive now heading down the pit straight as well. And it's a 127.9 for Rise to Survive. That is good enough for P6. We've got 3 drivers who still need to set lap times. Toddy Bear, who just flew past Rise to Survive on a flying lap as it stands. Smooze in the Haas is on an out lap, and Kraken is in the pits. We haven't seen any activity in the Alpine garage there on his side of the garage, and hopefully he will come out soon to make his start. Toddy Bear now into sector 3. And Tacey coming across again with the 126.5. fantastic time from the Aston Martin driver, who further consolidates that provisional pole spot. Toddy Bear crossing the line, a 127.6, and he is just below his teammate Isettens. So it's a very decent position for both McLaren drivers to be in at the stage. We also have Smooth in the Haas, who is now coming down towards the final corner, ready to set the first lap time of the session with just over 3 minutes left to go. Let's see what time it is on the board for the Haas driver. It's good enough for P6 at the minute, a 127.7. Actually, to be fair, a lot of these times are, fairly close together, so it is pretty competitive as it stands. Josh Randall on an outlap with a 128.2 at the minute. We still haven't seen any activity from Kraken, and time is running out, so he's going to cut it fine in terms of trying to get a lap set. Got a couple of drivers now on outlaps as Tacey now heads into the pits. And Josh Randall has now started another flying lap here. Let's see what the Alpine driver can do. Down in P9 with a 128.2, can he make improvements to that time? He's making his way from Sector 1 now into Sector 2. He has not found any time in Sector 1, but there is still time to be found in Sectors 2 and 3. Alpine driver making his way up the hill towards Sector 3. Has he found any time in Sector 2? He has not. He's actually lost a little bit of time there in Sector 2 as well. Can he recoup any of that time in Sector 3? Can he find some time here in Sector 3 to make some improvement to where he is? His teammate is actually on an outlap at the minute. He's cut it fine in terms of trying to get a lap. He's really only going to get one attempt here. But Josh Randall crosses the line. He hasn't found any time there. He will remain P9 as it stands, but he could make improvements if he goes straight into another flying lap. Worm Smith with a 127.8 currently in P7 on a flying lap. What time is it going to be? Is there improvements to his lap time? No, there is not. Worm Smith remains in P7. Got a number of other drivers on outlaps. Morris does look to be on a flyer here. He is in contention for this provisional pole spot at the minute. Tacey is half a second faster than Morris in the Ferrari. Can he find half a second? He's making his way from Sector 2 up into Sector 3, so let's see if he can find any time from his previous one. He has found 3/10. He just needs to find another 2/10 or so in Sector 3 to get him onto that provisional pole spot. Time has run out from what we can see here. Tacey is on an outlap, and Morris is getting ready to cross the line. And he takes provisional pole from Tacey. It is provisional pole position with the 126.5 exactly for Morris in the Ferrari. That's a fantastic effort from that driver. And we've got a couple of drivers here getting ready. Rise to Survive. ERS Hamilton is on an outlap. Casey is starting another flying lap. Can he find any more time to take back provisional pole from Morris? Wormsmith and Josh Randall will not get another opportunity to make improvements to their time. Kraken will cross the line, and what time is it going to be on the board for Kraken? It is at 1:27.6. One and done for Kraken, and good enough for P5 as it stands. A very, very decent effort indeed. iSettings unfortunately has invalidated his lap time, so as it stands will not get any better than P3 for the McLaren driver. The question is anyone behind him going to knock him off that P3 spot? We do have the likes of Rise to Survive, who is now coming around that final corner onto the pit straight and does not make any improvements to his position. Morris. A 1:26.5 has not made any improvements there. Toddy Bear up into P3, finds 4/10. Fantastic effort. And it is McLaren 3 and 4 at the minute. They should be delighted by that. ERS Hamilton in P5. He has found some time here, and it looks like he may be going up the ladder. He is up into P3. And that is our qualifying session over. We'll be back shortly with race coverage. What an exciting end to qualifying here in the desert. Casey leads us away for the formation lap here in Bahrain. Just having a look at the tire strategy here. So the first three drivers, the top three drivers, Casey, Jay Morris and ERS Hamilton, all on the medium tire strategy. That's really interesting. From Toddy Bear down to Josh Randall on the soft tires, we have AMG Vader and Dawson on the medium tires, as well as AMG Smithy, Bucko and RK25 opting for the medium tires as well. The remaining drivers are on the soft tires. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. And for some reason, Morris has decided to overtake Tacey during the formation lap. He's getting a little bit eager. And actually, he's shooting down the straight there. There's quite a big bit of a gap now between the two drivers. And really, that's going to play to Morris's disadvantage, because he'll end up in his grid box a lot quicker than the rest of the grid. And his tyre temperatures will cool down, and he won't get the best start, and he needs an optimum start against the likes of Tacey and ERS Hamilton. These drivers are going to be battling it out. So Tacey finds a grid box there alongside Jay Morris. Hornet is going to be the last driver to round off the grid. AlphaTauri driver is finding his way to his grid box. We can get started. There we go. We're waiting for 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go. Tacey gets a good start off the grid there. Jay Morris is putting him under pressure. ERS Hamilton right on the rear end of Jay Morris, and look at these drivers. They are, there's a little bit of contact there between the Ferrari and ERS Hamilton. Both drivers not giving an inch, and Jay Morris is out on front of ERS Hamilton. Isettens is very close as well. Isettens getting really interested and has overtaken his teammates. The McLarens are dueling away there. Isettens putting ERS Hamilton under some pressure. Isettens is on the soft tyres, remember. ERS Hamilton on the medium tyres, so those soft tyres will be primed and ready to go. The medium tyres will take a little bit more work, a little bit more effort to get them into the optimum working window. So Isettens needs to be putting pressure on these guys quickly. You can see some drivers have made some massive gains here, like the likes of Lou Powers, up 7 places into P7. That's a fantastic start. Rise to Survive up 3 places as well. Coronate also up 8 places. We've got some drivers who are doing great things. RKA25 up 9 places as well. Josh Randall has dropped right down 8 places. Not sure what happened in the start for him. You can see him, AMG Smithy and Big Will have dropped off the pecking order a little bit there. So you can see Isettens right on the tail of ERS Hamilton. There is a long pit straight here, and you can actually see the McLaren is gaining, and he's not even using his ERS. ERS Hamilton's done a fantastic job there of covering the inside, but Isettens is really close to him here. He's got to get a little bit more slipstream down the straight here, but he's not close enough. ERS Hamilton moves over to defend the inside line again, and only leaves Isettens the opportunity around the outside, but he's not close enough to get that overtake done. This is a fantastic battle. Isettens is doing a great job of putting ERS Hamilton under pressure, and Toddy Bear equally is doing a fantastic job of keeping close to those guys while they're in battle. Because the more that ERS Hamilton has to defend against Isettens, the more time he's losing by defending to Morris, and that keeps the likes of Toddy Bear in the fight as well. So this is a really interesting battle indeed. Remember, there is no DRS at this stage. DRS will be activated in lap 3, so we have just got to wait one more lap before that can be activated. Jay Morris 0.9 seconds between the two drivers, and ERS Hamilton, what has happened? Oh no, ERS Hamilton has dropped right down to P14. Not sure if there was a little bit of contact there between him and Isettens. It was looking like a really clean battle, and then obviously we have seen him drop right down there. It's a shame we missed that. Toddy Bear and Isettens now extremely close together. The question is, will these guys be sticking to team orders, or will it be free to race, and Toddy Bear may put some pressure under Isettens. He's not under immediate pressure. Rise to Survive is 1.2 seconds off the McLaren, so he's got a little bit of breathing room. And Lupars right on the tail there of Wormschmidt, who is putting pressure under Rise to Survive as well. And Tacey has a 1.4 second gap to Morris, who has a 2.4 second gap to iSentence. Wormschmidt with a 3-second time penalty for track limits. And Toddy Bear and iSentence have actually swapped places there. It looks like Toddy Bear got the overtake just down that pit straight, with, or not the pit straight, just down the straight in sector 2 with some DRS assistance. Lupars also up 8 places now into P6. He's got the move on Wormschmidt. He's now got his sights on Rise to Survive in P5. Let's see what this Alfa Romeo driver can do. He will get DRS assistance down the pit straight here. He does go just slightly wide there. Rise to Survive is actually heading into the pits already on lap 4. Let's see, does he get a change of wing? He does not. He's going for a little bit of an undercut here. Interesting strategy from Rise to Survive. So he's got the medium tires on in lap 4. Remember, he was around where Lupars was, so let's see where he comes out whenever these guys start to pit. RK25 very close to Wormschmidt in the Williams. He's got the medium tires on. His medium tires are going to be feeling fresh and ready to fight now. Coronet now up into P8. He's just overtaken Smooth and Alpars. And RK25 gets the overtake there on Wormschmidt. Worm putting pressure under RKA, but he's under pressure from Lupars from behind as well. Dawson is close to Alpars, but he's under pressure from ERS Hamilton, who's making a little bit of a recovery here. Oh, it's close between these two. ERS Hamilton's got the inside line. Dawson's battling away with Alpars here. Dawson has got P11. He's gaining on the Mercedes of ERS Hamilton, but just not close enough. Looks like Alpars has to take evasive action there to avoid going into the back of Dawson. Maybe just braking a little bit too late there. The problem that Rise to Survive will have with his strategy is if he's stuck behind drivers who are a little bit slower than him, potentially that will sort of go against the undercut. If he's stuck in traffic and that's slowing him down, it's not going to be ideal. Although he does manage to get past Smithy there. And up into P17, he's now got Josh Randall ahead of him. Actually looks like a lot of the drivers have started to bunch out a little bit. Smooth is kind of close to Lupars. He does have DRS here. Lupars doesn't have DRS on Coronet. See, AMG Vader also has DRS on DXT Viper, and he is closing that gap. Rise to Survive. Oh, Josh Randall. Oh, his car is swerving from side to side. I can't tell if that is a connection issue or if he is purposely doing that, but that's not ideal for Rise to Survive, who's trying to get past the Alpine driver. Rise to Survive trying to go around the outside. Rise to Survive with the 3-second time penalty for track limits infringements. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there between the two drivers. Oh no! Rise to Survive into the barrier. Thankfully, it doesn't look like there's any damage for the Mercedes driver on the front wing. But again, he's losing time, getting stuck in battles between these two drivers. So it seems like his strategy to pit a little bit earlier is not paying off at this stage. ERS Hamilton very close to Lou Powers. And he's going to get some DRS assistance down the pit straight, although he doesn't even need it. He's got the overtake before he gets to DRS, and now the DRS is just a little bit extra. ERS Hamilton dropped right down the pecking order, but making his way back up from P14, now up into P9. What about RKA 25? Up 5 places, or sorry, up 14 places into P5. Really impressive from him so far. He's had practice though. He only just won his Division 2 race last night, so he's on a roll. Smooth facing the wrong way there. Has to get that Haas facing the right direction. Ooh, very close between him and AMG Vader. Smooth's dropping 6 places, not the best of starts for the Haas driver. Josh Randall into the pits and coming out with a set of medium tires. Ooh, that Alpine is just going in throwing all shapes. Rear end all over the place. Toddy Bear's coming into the pits now. He is one of the first front runners to go for a pit stop. Now remember, the likes of Tasty and Morris are on the medium tires, so they will not be pitting for another while yet. Toddy Bear dropping down the pecking order as a couple other drivers get past him here. Smooth will get past as well, and he will come out behind Smooth. There will be a bit of a gap between him and Smooth, so actually the timing of this pit stop might not be bad. He might not get caught directly behind the car, which will be interesting to see. All drivers have bunched out again. Bucko behind Coronate now. Oh, Bucko having a spin here. Oh, does a fantastic job to avoid the barrier. Oh, not what the Ferrari driver needs. Does a great job to recover that spin. And Bucko going for another spin there. Probably the tire temps are just way too much at the minute and just not giving him the grip they needs. El Par's coming hot behind Bucko and has to slam on the brakes a little bit to avoid any contact. We've got a couple of other drivers coming into the pits. Ice Settings into the pits and actually comes out behind his teammates, and a little bit of a gap now between him and his teammates. So Toddy Bear did the right thing to pit that little bit earlier. Lou Powers just coming out of the pits just behind AMG Smithy. And AMG Vader is close behind Dawson, who is now in P5. And Toddy Bear now catching up to the back of this fight now. He's getting interested. Just missing the apex on that corner a little bit, going a little bit wide. But still within DRS range here. He's going to get DRS assistance down the pit straight here. AMG Vader also within DRS range of Dawson, but just falls out that 1 second gap, just a bit too far away from Dawson. But Toddy Bear is right alongside AMG Vader. Toddy Bear, the McLaren driver, is side by side with the Aston Martin, and oh, they're side by side going into that corner, and Toddy Bear has to back out at this stage. That McLaren getting a little bit out of shape there, but he is keeping AMG Vader on his toes. Ooh, AMG Vader breaking late there. Toddy Bear keeping it well controlled. Vader's got the inside line. Toddy Bear has got the advantage though and gets the overtake ahead of the DRS zone, and he gets DRS assistance, and he can now start to chase down Dawson. iSettings does not have DRS on AMG Vader, but he has got him locked in, and he is looking to make that move eventually. Toddy Bear catching up to Dawson, very close, 0.3 seconds between the two drivers. Late braking again from Toddy Bear. Oh, Toddy Bear into the back of Dawson. I'm surprised he doesn't have any damage to that front wing. He goes into the back of Dawson. AMG Vader gets the move on Dawson as well. iSettings is really close to both of these drivers. And it's like a DRS train now between the drivers. Dawson is trying to battle his way in there, but Vader's doing a good job to hold off the Red Bull. But that is costing him time behind iSettings. iSettings just 0.2 seconds behind the Red Bull. iSettings gets a good exit out that corner. He's got DRS on Dawson. Dawson also has DRS on AMG Vader, and he's got the inside line, but there's a little bit of a switcheroo here, and iSettings is battling up the hill with the Red Bull of Dawson. Dawson still has the upper hand for now, but that was a fantastic battle between iSettings and Dawson there. .1 now between Dawson and iSettings. Dawson still with DRS, but iSettings is gaining on the Red Bull. AMG Vader is still ahead here in P6. McLaren of iSettings does get ahead of Dawson. He's now got his sights on AMG Vader, and he's got a good exit out of that corner, and he shoots past the Aston Martin up into P6, and now he can try and close the gap to his teammate, which is now sitting at about 3 seconds between him and his teammate Toddy Bear. All in all, it's not bad for the McLarens so far. P5 and P6, they could be happy with that. Just having a look now at Smooth, who is catching up to the back of AMG Smithy. Ooh, that Haas getting a little bit out of shape there. Smooth will get DRS on AMG Smithy. AMG Smithy goes a little bit wide there, and actually Smooth doesn't even need the DRS assistance He's able to just slot in on the inside, and the Haas driver is up into P12. He is down 5 places from where he started the race, but we are not even halfway through the race yet. There is time still to go, so let's see how the Haas driver gets on. Oh, there is Coronate into the barrier. He's lost his front wing. He couldn't have done it in a better place though, because he is right at the pit entry, up 10 places. He was having a fantastic start to his race. Now he's having to hop into the pits, probably, which is going to cost him time getting his front wing replaced. That's not ideal for the AlphaTauri driver. He's also serving a penalty here, it looks. And now he's switching on to the hards to do him for the rest of the race, most likely. Smooth's now chasing down Alpars for that P10 spot. 0.5 seconds. Let's have a look at the tyres. You can see the top 4 drivers all on 12 lap old medium tyres. They've had those medium tyres on from the start of the race. Toddy Bear and I Settins pitted for medium tyres. You can see 4 and 3 laps respectively on those tyres. Vader and Dawson equally have had their medium tyres on for 12 laps, so they're not doing too bad at all. And there's Smooth trying to chase down Lupars, and he gets that move done. Fantastic. ARS Hamilton taking a dive into the pits here. And I don't believe what I'm seeing here. ARS Hamilton is committing to a 2-stop strategy. He has went from medium tyres to medium tyres, and he will have to pit again to avoid being disqualified. So that's an interesting strategy from ARS Hamilton, who now drops down into P9. He's got a little bit of a clear stretch of track ahead of him, so he can just plough on in the meantime. But that is a very interesting strategy, and the likes of Tacey and Morris should be looking out at that and seeing how they can change their strategy to put a little bit of pressure under ARS Hamilton now. So there's a 6-second gap now between ARS Hamilton and Wormsmith. So ARS Hamilton can just focus on trying to drive as fast as he can, build up a little bit of time here, as he's essentially undercut the likes of Tacey and Jay Morris, although it does look like they're going for a different strategy to that of ARS Hamilton. Tacey leading the way, almost a 10-second gap between him and Morris. And the drivers have all really bunched out now. Rise to Survive, 0.3 seconds off Coronate, who pitted for hard tyres. It does look like Rise to Survive is on hard tyres as well. 3 laps older than Coronate's tyres. It's not really been the night for Rise to Survive so far. He's had not a huge amount of luck, but there is still half the race to go, so let's see how it pans out for him. And the big thing as well is that we are still with 19 drivers. Kraken did get disqualified at the start there during the starting sequence. Not exactly sure what happened to his car, but we have had no fatal crashes at this stage. We are with 19 drivers, and we have not had a virtual safety car or a full course safety car at this stage, so that is something that we can be happy with, as Rise to Survive does move up into P15. Coronate does take out one of the polystyrene blocks there as he moves off the track a little bit. Ooh, that car getting twitchy. Wormsmith 0.2 seconds off Dawson. Catching up, looking to make an overtake on the final corner here, and he gets the overtake. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there between the two drivers. Dawson, not sure if he's got wing damage. but there was a little bit of contact there between the two drivers, nothing intentional from what I could see there. And ERS Hamilton, interestingly enough, sets fastest lap time of the session on the medium tyres. He's now right behind Dawson. He's fairly made up the gap, closed the gap very quickly. Oh, he's very close to Dawson indeed. Going to get DRS assistance down straight here. Can he get the overtake? He's got a fair amount of ERS to use, and he is using it, and he is now got the inside line, but Dawson's not giving up that easy. Both drivers doing what they can to avoid making contact with each other, which is great to see. Dawson pushes ERS Hamilton a little bit off track there. ERS Hamilton has to concede the spot for the meantime, and Morris is now coming out of the pits, and he has he's going to get caught here behind Isettens, and there is the back marker of Smithy as well. That pit stop for Morris was not the best time, because now he has got a little bit of traffic that's going to be slowing him down, and he is obviously on the hard tyres as well, whereas ERS Hamilton has got the medium tyres equipped. Dawson has gone off. There was obviously a battle between him and ERS Hamilton, and he's dropped down a little bit. So it looks like Morris has overtaken back marker with Smithy quite quickly there. He's now got his sights on Isettens. Isettens is not looking to make this easy for him. His teammate is 4 seconds ahead. Let's see what he can do to slow Jay Morris down a little bit here. And ERS Hamilton now up into P7. Vader looks to be going slow there. Not sure what was happening. And we've got Tacey into the pits as well. Isettens doing a good job to hold off Morris for now. And Tacey is coming out of the pits, and he will come out still ahead of the McLaren. Fantastic effort. Not sure what's going on with Morris here. He's backed off a good little bit, 2.7 seconds. Morris is losing time here. Can't really see how he lost that time, but just having a look now at Smooth, who gets the overtake on Dawson up into P8. There's now a 5-second gap between Morris and Isettens, and at one stage there was less than a 0.5-second gap between the two of them. Toddy Bear and Isettens respectively P3 and 4. It is a fantastic day for McLaren, and they should be happy with where they are standing right now. Question is, are they going to try and do a 2-stop strategy or 1-stop as RK25 hits the pits? Look at the wheel on that Haas. He drove the tits off that wheel and it is wobbling. He's now getting a pair of soft tires on. He was able to get into the pits at the right time, get a pair of soft tires on to do him for the remaining 10 laps of the race. And ERS Hamilton has caught up into P4 now. But remember, he needs to pit again because he is committed to this two-stop strategy because he started on the medium tires, and he's still got medium tires on here, so I'm not sure that strategy has paid off for ERS Hamilton. The RKA25 is hunting down Wormschmidt now, who is up into P5. And Jay Morris is dropping down the pecking order a little bit here, down 7 places from where he started this race, and there's a 6-second gap between him and Lou Powers. So not exactly sure what's going on here for the Ferrari driver, but be interesting to see what happens in the next 10 laps as RKA25 gets ahead of Wormschmidt up the hill and into sector 3. The Haas driver is making his recovery. He's still up 14 places from where he started the race. It's a fantastic effort. ARS Hamilton is still setting fastest lap times. There's an 8-second gap now between him and Isettens, and remember, he does still need to pit, I believe. I hope I'm not just saying that and he doesn't need to pit, but he really fairly certain he still needs to pit. RKA25's hunting him down on those soft tires, and Dawson looks to be hunting down Josh Randall. They're at the pit straight. There is DRS. Oh, he is catching Josh. Red Bull pulls out alongside the Alpine driver. He's got the inside line. He's got the overtake. Up into P10. Dawson goes. Very nice. And RKA25's looking to put the moves on ERS Hamilton, and he gets the overtake in just before the corner, and that is RKA25 up into P4. We do have a car that's gone off. L Powers has gone off track here in sector 1 near the first or second corner, as AMG Smithy has retired. Will this bring out a safety car? It has brought out a safety car. Now this is interesting. We see Isettens coming into the pits. Fantastic opportunity for the McLaren driver to come into the pits. We're seeing a couple of drivers. RKA25 back into the pits again. ERS Hamilton into the pits. He was banking on that safety car, and that safety car came out at the perfect time for ERS Hamilton, although he does appear to be stuck here, and now he moves on. This has shaken things up. That lead that Tacey has, he will no longer have that lead, and he is on hard tires. He missed the opportunity to come into the pits this time around. He will need to pit and get off those hard tires if he wants to be competitive in these final 8-7 laps, whatever it might be. This has definitely shaken things up in the final courses, in the final couple of laps. Tacey into the pits as we would have expected, and he should still come out ahead of Isettens, but Toddy Bear's not far behind him as well. Toddy Bear's coming in for a fresh set of soft tires as well. It's really interesting how this is shaking things up, as Tacey and Toddy Bear both come out of the pits, and they can now go to meet the safety car. And Tacey has met the Aston Martin safety car. Toddy Bear and Ice Settings have just came up behind. It looks like Bucko is. See, look at this. This is really interesting. There seems to be a little bit of an issue here. If you can see, there is a Ferrari. I believe that is Bucko. And he's in a rather unfortunate spot there. P17, and he is caught in the safety car. And he is virtually going to be a lap behind now by the time everyone bunches up. Safety car still with us as some of the drivers are catching up to the safety car line. I would say we'll have the safety car for the remainder of this lap, and hopefully we will see it go in so that we can get a couple of laps of racing in. Still have a couple more drivers who are catching up. It looks like L Powers is the furthest one away. Is catching up. Question is, does he catch up quick enough before we see the safety car coming in? We've not had any confirmation as of yet. So very well, we may see the safety car out for one more lap. So all drivers have caught up. It does look like Bucko has taken a trip to the pits and will slot in P18 now. And I say we will see the safety car come in at the end of this lap. should see the safety car in at the end of this lap. Just waiting from that confirmation from race control. And there we have it. Safety car is in this lap. Tacey's worked all this race to extend the gap to the rest of these drivers. It is now a 0.2 second gap between him and Toddy Bear. It's going to be under pressure, but let's see how he can hold out. And he has not put the foot down just yet, and he does it. He gets, oh, he slows down again. He's tricking them. He gets going. And Toddy Bear is getting a slipstream off that Aston Martin. He's looking for an overtake. Can he late brake and get the overtake? He's not doing it yet. Tasty goes wide though. This is a close battle. ERS Hamilton has got the move on Isettens, who drops down into P4. ERS Hamilton now looking to get a move on Toddy Bear. Can Toddy Bear hold him off and fight with Tacey? ERS Hamilton's getting very eager there. Isettens is still close behind as well. We've got yellow flags out there in Sector 2, not sure what's happening. All cars appear to be moving. And Toddy Bear and Tacey, the gap has grown by 1.2 seconds already. Tacey's done a fantastic job to hold off Toddy Bear in that opening stage. Toddy Bear is now probably more focused on keeping ERS Hamilton behind him. And ERS Hamilton just 0.1 seconds off. He won't get DRS assistance down the pit straight, but he will get one hell of a slipstream. ERS Hamilton, Toddy Bear moving over to the right hand side to try and break the toe as Tacey sets the fastest lap time off the race of 1:29.6. Toddy Bear is placing that McLaren in all the right spots. He moves over to the left hand side actually, and that allows ERS Hamilton the door there in turn 1, but he actually had the inside line into turn 2, and Toddy Bear keeps the lead for now. He is placing that McLaren in all the right spots, which is great to see, and Isettens is putting ERS Hamilton under some pressure as well. Just 0.2 seconds between the two, and really Toddy Bear needs to try and do what he can to slow ERS Hamilton down a little bit so that his teammate can maybe jump the gun and get the overtake on the Mercedes, and we could see 2 McLarens on the podium today, which could be really exciting. ERS Hamilton 0.5 seconds off Toddy Bear. Isettens is closing that gap between the Mercedes and the McLaren. And I believe DRS will be enabled at the start of this lap. There won't be any DRS assistance down the pit straight, however, I believe. And this battle between ERS Hamilton and Toddy Bear starts again as Tacey sets another fastest lap, 1:28.9. And DRS has been enabled there, you can see it. Drivers don't have it yet, but they will get it down this straight in just 2 corners time. And ERS Hamilton very, very close indeed to Toddy Bear. Oh, there is a Haas behind, and Isettens. RKA is battling away with Isettens, and RKA moves up into P4. Isettens is battling here with the Haas, and he has to concede the place in the meantime. Hopefully he can try and battle back. ERS Hamilton very close to Toddy Bear. DRS Hamilton is hitting all those apexes perfectly. You can see the McLaren has gone a little bit wide there, but he keeps the P2 spot for now. The challenge is down this pit straight. ERS Hamilton will have DRS assistance, and Toddy Bear will be under immense pressure to try and hold him off. You can see he doesn't even attempt to try and do it. The Mercedes does get ahead, and actually RKA25 gets ahead as well. And Toddy Bear is trying to do what he can to salvage his positions, but there is not much he can do. Now RKA25 can start the battle with ERS Hamilton. We've got yellow flags out. There is a Red Bull off, and Rise to Survivor as well, I believe, has gone off. Facing the wrong way. Not sure what happened. Well, he drops right down to P16. And RKA25 0.6 seconds behind ERS Hamilton. This is where penalties come into play. ERS Hamilton does have a 3-second penalty, and at the minute that could make the difference of a couple of places. Could make a difference of a podium and not a podium in this case. And actually, if Toddy Bear can keep very close here, he could still be in with a shot of a podium, because there is just 1.5 laps left to go. The question is, will RKA25 get the overtake on ERS Hamilton? He's 0.5 seconds off. ERS Hamilton does not have DRS, but RKA25 does. He's using whatever ERS power he's got left as well with his DRS. ERS Hamilton moves over to the inside to defend. RKA25 tried to go for the move there. Can't get it, not close enough. He's going for a second attempt. Oh, ERS Hamilton covering the inside line again. He's forcing RKA25 to go round the outside. RKA25 keeps it close to the apex. Can't get the move done yet. ERS Hamilton's doing a great job of defending here. And the McLaren of Toddy Bear and Ice Settings are just behind there. At the moment, Toddy Bear could be in with a shot off the podium, as Tacey has extended their gap by 2.7 seconds. RKA25 is doing everything he can to try and get ahead of ERS Hamilton. 0.3 seconds between the two drivers, but it doesn't look like he can get the move done. ERS Hamilton has held out. Tacey heading down this final straight towards the final corner to see the checkered flag. The Aston Martin driver started on pole position. He finishes in P1. A little bit of weaving from side to side as a victory. ERS Hamilton crosses the line in P2, but he drops down by 2 spots, or by 3 spots down into P5. Toddy Bear is on the podium, P3. Ice Settings in P4. That's a fantastic result for the McLaren drivers, and you can see all the other drivers are crossing the line. Josh Randall crosses the line, P11. Dawson next across the line, he gets promoted up to P11 as a result of penalties. Al Powers, I believe, just lost his front wing. Not sure what he was. Front wing has been shedded all over the pit straight. Not sure what Al Powers was doing there. That is it. Just waiting on Bucko now, crossing the line. That's it for this race. Thanks for sticking with us. We'll be back on Thursday for a Division 4 race here in Bahrain.